I had a session at one point in time about the child abuse that I had had. I had been sexually molested by my grandfather when I was, probably from 5 to 8 years old. And it was actually my great-grandfather. And every time we would go and visit them, fortunately they lived far away, but every time we would go and visit them, I had to go in the basement with him. My parents would always encourage me to go and see what projects Grandpa was working on that he always wanted to show me. So I had gone through a lot of the forgiveness process and really didn't feel like I had any issues with my grandfather, but yet it was hard for me to get really super close to my husband. And so in the course of this session, I had this memory of going back down into the basement. I had to relive this memory. And there I was, and I remember the facilitator asking me if I could invite Jesus into this most uncomfortable place. And I did. Keep in mind that I never thought I really needed this session to begin with. I didn't really want to revisit it. I thought I had it all resolved because I had forgiven him and didn't have any hard feelings. And he's dead. But in the midst of it all, when Jesus came on the scene, I thought, well, what is he possibly going to say to me here? Because it happened, and it was horrible. And I could feel the pain that I thought I had gotten rid of, but I could still feel that pain. And Jesus just kind of came up behind me, and he whispered in my ear, and he said, "You don't ever have to come back to the basement again." And he took my hand, and we walked out of the basement, up the stairs, and into the light of the backyard. And what's really interesting is prior to this, I had always felt just kind of this feeling whenever my husband would kiss me on the lips. Now, considering that we've been married more than 30 years, that's kind of sad, but that had become normal for me. And I just thought, oh, it's just a me thing. But the Lord showed me there that that wasn't just a me thing. It was something that he wanted to give back to me. And that was the ability to have that level of intimacy with my husband. And so I couldn't wait to get home and test it out. And just plant a good one on my husband, full on the mouth. And you know what? It was really great to go home and kiss him on the lips and actually think, this is kind of nice. My grandpa was no longer flashing before my eyes every time my husband kissed me on the lips, and he hasn't been back. And so that's a wonderful victory that I've had thanks to the ministry here at Cross Council and Jesus.